Hello traders, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski, I'm a Chief Analyst in all Parallel Research and Analysis, and this is Daily Analytical Report. Let's start because we have a few interesting movements today, a few very good trading signals. Vast majority of the instruments are moving as expected, so let's deal with that. But first, calendar. On calendar, you can see that we got inflation from Eurozone, and this inflation came worse than expectations. And this is quite surprising because usually data from the Eurozone comes in line with expectations. They have very good predictions, but this time was different. And look what the euro dollar is doing. Euro dollar is going down. Also, as you can see, we had the data from the British pound, but I will show you that later. So we had the GDP, which year over year came slightly worse than expectations, which caused a drop in British pound, but you saw that they bounced because they dropped below very important support. Anyway, euro is going down. I have a position on euro dollar, and I didn't open position for a long time, but we are back on the markets, and I'm happy that we are back with a very nice trade, with a very good position. And that is calendar still to come in 3.5 hours. We will have personal consumption expenditures price index from US, and also GDP from Canada. We will get speeches from major figures from central banks here. As it is the last day of this week, we need to see what's going to happen next week if you want to leave your position over the weekend. On Monday is usually quiet, but it's not the case next week, because next week we'll have a lot of PMIs, and which should definitely affect euro, British pound, and American dollar as well. On Tuesday we'll have a rate statement and decision from Australia. So we had one from New Zealand, now time for Australia. And also speech from Jerome Powell, Fed chairman. Wednesday, continuation of the PMIs. Thursday we'll have trading data from Australia and PMIs from Canada. And on Friday, non-farm payrolls data, which was super important a few years ago, but now month over month is losing the importance, because non-farm payrolls were important when we were in the recovery. Now it's full proper bull market. Actually, we are rising interest rates in most of the economies to slow down a little bit this economic train, which is going very fast. So we all know that the jobs are being created. It's not the case now. Now the case is the inflation and interest rates. Non-farm payrolls, so the number of the jobs created, were important when we were in the recovery stage. So after 2008. For many years, every trader was looking at the non-farm payrolls data to see if the recovery is happening or not. But now this data lost the meaning a little bit. So now we're ready to go with the charts. Let's start with the British pound to Canadian dollar. They tried this triple top formation here, but now we can assume that it's 1, 2, 3. It's happening on the downtrend line. We came back inside of the flag. So yesterday it was looking awesome. Yesterday it was perfect, as you can see here and even here. But then the price reversed. That was a very sharp reversal. That is the reason why I don't like those pairs. British pound to Canadian dollar, British pound to Australian dollar. This kind of pairs. It's on the case of cable. It's more of British pound with some other currencies. I don't like them. For me, they are not predictable. My technical analysis does not work on those instruments. And this is what is happening here. That is a sell signal again. We'll see if that will be a legitimate sell signal or not. Okay, guys, I think yes, we are back. Sorry, we had some small problem with the with our software. So I was saying about euro to British pound that I was hoping here for an upswing, but then I said that there is no hope there is no place for hope in trading, and you just have to trade what it is. And what it is a channel down formation. You can make it narrow. I was thinking that the price will bounce from the green area, but it's not happening. And it's pretty unusual, right? So we had this wedge breakout to the upside, and then we had a correction. And this correction should end here or even here. But this correction is going deeper and is actually removing all that optimism from one day. Which is not very technical. It should not happen, but it's happening and you cannot do nothing with that. Now the price is on a major long-term horizontal. We stopped again. As long as we stay above the orange area, the sentiment is positive and there is still a long-term buy signal, but the breakout will be a definite invitation to go short because the price already started the sequence of lower lows and lower highs. So once we'll make another lower low, that will be the end. And now gold. Gold is one of the main instruments now. It's one of the heroes. Why? Because we do have finally a trading signal. On gold for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, we were inside of the symmetric triangle pattern. Those red lines. Sideways trend, boring sideways trend. We were fighting to break this resistance, which was the 23.6 Fibonacci here. The price did not manage to break those. We created the lower line of the symmetric triangle, and finally, after the rejection of 23.6, the price broke the lower line of the symmetric triangle pattern, and that is definitely bearish, and that opens us away towards the lows from the middle of August, and this is very negative. Obviously the buyers will try to create a double bottom formation here, but double bottom formation here will be active only when the price will break the blue area. DAX. DAX, after this defense of the neckline of the major head and shoulder pattern, is climbing higher, so it's good for them. We bounced from the neckline, we broke this horizontal resistance here, and we're climbing higher and higher and higher. There is also a flag. Here we broke the midterm downtrend line. The price created a flag, broke the upper line of the flag, went higher. There is this downtrend line here, which we used for a stop, and now this reversal is not surprising because that resistance looks quite strong, but what can be surprising here is the fact that we are getting inside of the flag. Okay, because that would be nothing serious, that would be nothing bad, a bounce here, but the buyer should defend this upper line of the flag and climb higher. Alright, but the thing is that we are still above the midterm uptrend line. The midterm uptrend line is here, and we should continue the upswing. Now New Zealand dollar to Canadian dollar. New Zealand dollar to Canadian dollar has a very interesting situation because here the price is having a strong sell signal. Actually, I want to check also one thing, if there is a correction equality pattern. That will be interesting. I'm sorry. Precisely. This is awesome. So, this correction was 200 pips. And this correction was 200 pips. How good is that? What do you have here is, apart from the correction equality pattern, you have this, which is a false breakout. Okay, I'm gonna draw this false breakout here. Okay. We have a false breakout above the horizontal resistance, and it's a false breakout above this downtrend line. Why is it false? Because the price already came back below the support and below the downtrend line. So that's how we know it's false. It's fake. And also this is a flag. Flag is a trend continuation pattern, and flag should result with a further drop. Currently we are on a horizontal support here. That may result with a small upswing, but in general we should see the drop. That is a negative situation for this instrument, and we should see a further downswing. Bitcoin is not moving very technically recently. I was thinking about this rectangle, then a false breakout. After this false breakout, because the price came back inside, we should see a drop. But today the Bitcoin is going higher. Okay, fair enough. I have no interest in the Bitcoin going lower or higher. If they want to go low, if they want to go higher, let it be. What they need to be aware of is this line, which is actually a neckline of the left shoulder head and the right shoulder. But you may consider this also as a lower line of as an upper line of the flag and a lower line of the flag. But the line which you should definitely consider is the long-term downtrend line here. So price getting to the white line will be a very good occasion to sell, based on the fact that we do have this horizontal resistance here and this dynamic downtrend line. And already you can see that we have some reaction here. But obviously, on one hand, that can be a good occasion to sell, but on the other hand, breakout of those resistance will be a super strong buy signal, like a really proper one. So breakout here can give us a momentum, I think, towards 11,300. I think it's really probable. Well, it's now it's not probable, but after the breakout it will be super probable. So even if it will be late, you will buy like for 7,100, you can aim for 11,000, and that is a proper risk to reward ratio in my opinion. British pound to Japanese yen. Well, look at this. Let's check the hourly chart. On hourly chart, you can see that we do have this sideways trend here. Sideways trend is present below the horizontal resistance, above the horizontal support. Well, I don't see any signal here, unfortunately. Actually, I'm gonna remove this. Euro to Japanese yen. Euro to Japanese yen after a failed ascending triangle is going lower, and but I wouldn't bet for a downtrend because the price is testing for the second time the horizontal support here. And you can see that this horizontal support was important since even August 2017. Resistance, support, support, resistance, 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 and then there is this support. So upswing correction, upswing correction. And double bottom here will be a strong invitation to go long. Just to make it clear. Alright, I think this resistance is definitely important. But we have also this downtrend line here. I would say like that. So at the same time, this is a kind of a wedge. And wedge should result with a breakout of the upper line of the wedge. So a breakout of the upper line here will give us a double bottom formation and a buy signal. S&P 500 still above the uptrend line. Still we can say we are inside of the flag. Okay, let's do it like that. There was no false breakout. So as long as we stay above this pink line, the sentiment is still positive. Not much to add here. This setup is pretty clean. American dollar to Japanese yen. We can remove this line. This is a false breakout. Also, our software. I hope you don't have huge issues with this. Look at this resistance. And in case of this kind of behavior, we need to look big picture here. This is the resistance. This is the ultimate resistance when the price should be following in the next few days using this support still. WTI oil, after breaking this combination of those two resistances, is heading higher but created a rectangle. Short recap, those resistances were the neckline of the inverse shoulder formation and the upper line of the symmetric triangle pattern. No surprise that the price is aiming higher. Well, not much to add here. Buy signal, definitely. Buy signal on oil, even if you're bearish for oil. I don't think that you have arguments for that right now, despite the price being high. But it's never an argument. It's never a factor which you should consider that the price is too high or too low. It's never too high or too low. The price can be much higher than you think and much lower than you think. Australian dollar to Japanese yen. This situation here which we are seeing right now is a typical flag. Flag is created after an upswing flag is happening after above the downtrend line. Inside of the flag on a daily chart yesterday I finished with a doji, and that is a nice buy signal. Also we have this horizontal support which got defended, and yes, we do have a nice buy signal here. Now Australian dollar to American dollar here. That is a pretty, that is a really strong sell signal. Because most recently the price bounced from the downtrend line here, major downtrend line. And also the price created a flag and broke the horizontal support. So we have a combination of broken support, broken lower line of the flag, bounce from the downtrend line. Now we should see a small bump, but that should continue with a further stronger drop. This setup is also very, very clean. British pound to New Zealand dollar, we need to redraw this line. The pennant continues. Pennant continues for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Probably we won't see a breakout now, so we won't get a buy or sell signal this week. Breakout of the 23.6 will be a nice buy signal here, but for this we need to wait. We need to wait for the breakout, right? Simple as that. New Zealand dollar to Swiss franc. Here the price aiming higher, and the breakout of the black line will give us a buy signal, but as for now, we do have a small correction after the bounce from this line. And again, it is just a correction. It is a flag. Flag should result with the further upswing. And I don't mean like a breakout, but at least another try, another attempt here. Also, those setups are no longer relevant, I guess, so we can remove them. This uptrend line will be important here, and this horizontal support will be important here. So I guess that price getting here and bouncing would be a really, really technical, sweet movement. Silver was stronger and is stronger than gold. Situation here is not so dramatic. If we even have a buy signal, had a buy signal for a moment. It was a false buy signal, but what can you do? Downswing correction, downswing flag, breakout of the lower line of the flag, and that should bring us a further drop. So situation is a bit better, but it's not so good anyway. We do have a sell signal as on gold, but the momentum is much weaker. So the bearish momentum is much weaker. Bears on gold are weaker than on the bears on the silver are weaker than those on gold. Euro dollar, here you can see the reaction after the data. But data alone is nothing. Well, it's a gasoline poured in the fire, but the fire started here. Fire started after the breakout of the lower line of the symmetric triangle pattern, and after the breakout of the horizontal support, and after the breakout of the subtrend line. So, and after the fundamentals, FOMC, Fed, etc. Drop, correction, drop, drop, correction, drop. So this is very negative. If you will see a weekly chart is a bearish engulfing. A bearish engulfing is a strong signal to go short, definitely. After this, actually, we can get something like that. So sentiment on gold on euro dollar is definitely negative. As you can see, necklines got broken, trend lines got broken. We don't have a good news for traders on euro dollar. American dollar to Swiss franc, we are expecting a breakout here. As you can see, we got a breakout and we got a nice buy signal. Inverse head and shoulder formation, left shoulder, head and right shoulder, broken resistance, broken neckline. And now we are breaking those resistances. We broke those resistances, now we are creating a flag. Even if we will go down, that will be nothing, guys, because this upswing is so strong that the correction is needed. We got a small correction, we can even get a correction to the neckline. That will not be anything surprising or bad or suspicious, because this neckline, this inverse head and shoulder pattern was not tested before. They just went straight away, so it would be nice to see the test and a further upswing. Now cable. A cable is also, and those instruments I was showing you yesterday on that trading sniper video, and all of them worked perfectly. So we do have a channel up formation, then a breakout of the lower line of this channel up formation, then a flag, then a breakout test of the flag as a resistance, test of this horizontal line as a resistance. The price is going down. And now we're testing 38.2. We had a first attempt to break out. Now we're having a second attempt to break this line. Breakout of 38.2 automatically opens us the way towards 50. Sentiment is definitely negative. No doubts about that. I don't see the price going other way than down. So guys, this is the daily analytical report, and as you can see, and as I said at the very beginning, vast majority of our setups, they worked, and they worked perfectly, especially those from the Trading Sniper video, because on the Trading Sniper video we post only the best setups. And you could see that. You could clearly see that with those movements that we are having now. Thanks very much for watching the daily analytical report. Now if you want to learn my strategy, now we'll have a half an hour break, but after this live trading session, so I will show you my account, my trades, my approach for trading, my instruments that I'm trading, approach, etc., everything. So I hope you will all attend this webinar. Thanks very much, guys, and see you in half an hour.